Okay everyone, I'm back, and today I'm going to teach you guys how to install a rear sway bar on your vehicle. Rear sway bar for today, it's a 2011 Impreza. This sway bar is made for a WRX. These parts are made for a WRX. So basically this is a WRX install, but you can also use this on your Impreza. Years 2008 to 2011 for Imprezas, and years 2008 to 2014 for WRXs. To get started here, everything we need, this isn't everything, but you need two of these brackets. These brackets go over these, and they're going to hold that actual sway bar in place. You need two of them. For this screw, you need two of these as well. What these are going to do is go through this part of the sway bar link, and then this nut goes on the other side over here. So you will need, I already have one sway bar link installed, that's why I only have one here, but you'll need two of these, and two sway bar links. You also need two of these, and these are for this part here. These bolts are M8, so 8mm by 1.25 thread, and they are 30 millimeters long. These I literally just got from Ace. It cost me like $5, and I'll have everything linked in the description, by the way. So like the screws that are down here, the bolts, sway bar links, those pieces off the Subaru website, and then I'll list these as well, what their the measurements of them are. It'll all be in the description for you. So if you need any of the parts, go ahead and look down there. Okay, now you will see this piece. It has a hook on the top. The hook goes up into that hole, and you'll see how this bushing, there's a flat side on it. Flat side sits against it, just in that little crevice area between the two circle holes. Oh shoot, the whole thing just fell. 1 sec. Okay, there we are. And you see how the hook's on the top? I can lift it back up. It's difficult to do with one hand, and I also think it's caught on the other side. Damn it. There we go. It's hooked. Now it's going to be a little off the bolt holes because I haven't done it on the other side, but we'll get to that. Here's the other side. I'm not sure about on a WRX, but here it's really awkward because the exhaust goes right in front of it. So what I'll do is I'll kind of go over here so you can see it a little better. Well, it's the same thing. This goes here. Then we grab it. It just hooks on. So now you'll see this side is hooked on over here, and that side is hooked on over there. This is where we're going to need these screws, and you'll see that on the left side and on the right side there are two each. Now these will go into there, so there we are, and then there will be one on the bottom as well. Now you don't have to worry about a nut on the other side, because if I can get a shot of this, you can see there is a nut on the other side already for you. Now there's a nut on the other side right there, and that's for top and bottom. So you will not need any nuts. You just need the bolts for it. Okay, I do now have this side done. It was honestly not that bad. It just took a lot of torque to tighten these up, and you do want to make sure that you tighten them up because this is a suspension piece. It does move. Make sure these bolts are tightened. Okay, and now that I've got this in, you can see screw on bottom, screw on top. Make sure you don't, you can't see how much it wiggles, but make sure you don't tighten it all the way yet, because you do need to make sure that this sway bar can slide back and forth, and also this piece can rotate, just so you can actually lock it into the linkage that's gonna go in this hole, actually. So you'll see that this piece right here, it's up against the bushing. Move over to the other side. This piece is not, oh, that's the exhaust. This piece is not against the bushing. So what we're gonna do is kind of hit it. Actually, you need to hit it from the other side. So we're going to just, that might not work. Actually, no, it works. Okay, so now you can see we've got like enough for half my finger right there. To the other side we go. Got a little more than half my finger. So what I'll do is slide back over here and just, that's a pretty good amount. And that's just about the same over there. So now it's aligned much better. The next thing that's going to need to be done is this sway bar linkage needs put in. Now this is undebatably the hardest part about this, because this sway bar link, and it may be a little different on whatever vehicle you have, you'll notice that it does not fit. So what you've got to do is, on this side it's much easier because it's open. You'll see on that side there's the exhaust, the one that I keep running into with my phone. On this side it's not there, so it's going to be a little easier. But what you have to do really is, and I'm going to have to do this off camera, or just maybe set my phone up somewhere, but you need to hold this here, and you grab the hammer, and you just hit down on the top of it. Like this, over and over and over again, and you just hit down on the top of it, and eventually this will get pushed down into this hole, and once it's through this hole, that's when we use this screw, put it through there, and I'll show that, but hitting it down is the main part. This is the hardest part because it will not fit without you hitting it. So you must just like hit it from the top, or you can get a wrench, put it here, and then you can hit the top of the wrench, but nonetheless, you have to hit this down into the hole. It will not just slide in, most likely. Maybe on the car you're doing it, it actually works, but not on this one. I'm gonna do an update halfway through. You'll see that I've now pushed this in, and it's now actually kind of stuck in there, and you'll see that like it even moves down if I do that and whatnot. You want to try to make sure it's up straight when you're putting it into this hole, but I'm gonna see if I can do it while holding my phone now that's actually in place. So you'll see this here, and you just want to hit the top of it. Oh, see, yeah, it moves sideways, but you hold this with one hand and you just hit the top with the other hand. And you'll see now that it is just barely kind of off to the right side, also up a little bit. Now your best option with this is to just hit it up here. Give it a few hits. And that's almost perfect. If I maybe rotate it a little. Just rotate it directly upward. Look at that. Perfect, see right through it. And then from there, you're going to grab this bolt. This is the part that I specially got off Subaru. Again, all this stuff is going to be in the description, the links for all of it. And it just slides right through there. And of course, for this one, you do need this bolt or nut. And this is just going to go on the other side. It's pretty self-explanatory. You'll need a wrench for one side, and either a wrench for the other side or a ratchet. Okay, now that that is tightened properly enough to where I can move this, but it'll still stay in place, now we can move this sway bar down, rotate it down, and there is a hole just in the side of the sway bar here. The sway linkage just goes right into it. You just got to line it up properly enough. And there it goes. And then I already had a nut that came with the sway bar and linkage, and it just goes on the other side here. And then for the other side, it's going to be the exact same thing. So we just line it up properly, and it's probably going to be a little more difficult than the other side, just because you've already aligned the other side. But there you go. Now the only other actual thing to do is for these sway bar links on the end here, they've got a spot where you can put an Allen wrench into the screw. So you're going to want to hold this Allen wrench, and then if I can get this wrench here, put a regular wrench and you tighten it while you're holding this Allen wrench with the other hand. Much easier thing to do, little discovery I made, is instead of turning this wrench, what you can do instead is hold this wrench still and you turn the Allen wrench. So instead you're turning this Allen wrench, it makes it much quicker. To torque it, you do want to use this wrench. You want to pull on the wrench instead. You see how this is vertical up on this side? It's all tightened up here. Over here, it's not quite vertical. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it again from a little bit from this side. So you really just hit the end of it, and you'll see moves a little. Now see, this one is much more vertical, at least closer. Whereas this one is also pretty dang close. And that's honestly it. You can see this whole thing whole assembly up here. And over to this side, it's even easier to see. Got this whole assembly here. So you've got your bracket, the 2 screws that go in it. You got your sway bar that goes across. You've got the link up here with the screw. And then you've got the one that goes all the way through with the nut on the back. And that's really it for just about both sides. Right here, it is a little bit close, but it's nothing to worry about. And just make sure you've got everything tightened, because you wouldn't want anything loose here. Because this is a suspension piece, it does move. Make sure these bolts are tightened. And guys, that's about it for today. A lot of help from my dad. I appreciate that. I'm not actually mad today. Usually when I get done working on my car, I'm like actually really mad. But I'm pretty satisfied today, honestly. And so Snickers, because she got to sit in my chair all day. Hi, Snickers. Come on, you're not in the spirit? Okay, whatever. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope anybody out there with an Impreza, WRX, whatnot, they can get it figured out. If you can, I'd appreciate any kind of likes on this video. Share it. Subscribe if you want. I guess I'll see you guys whatever I do next. See ya.